Carl Shandell.
Yes, ma'am.
You were suing the defendant, Kenya Kirkland,
Correct.
for $5,000.
Yes.
You say she owes you.
Yes.
I understand that you lived in a sober living facility that you run, ma'am?
Yes.
You said during the time that you were living there, your property was damaged, you had money stolen from you, you had to go to the hospital because of bed bugs, so you're
Yes,
suing for
ma'am.
your medical expenses, and you're suing for almost $3,000 in emotional distress as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are countersuing, ma'am, for $2,000 for pest control expenses? Correct. Okay, so I'll start with you, sir. Why don't we start from the beginning? You tell me how you ended up living in this facility.
So I was living with my sister, and I ended up getting into an argument with her about her boyfriend. I told her I didn't think she should be with him, and she told me it didn't matter to her what I thought. She was going to be with him, so I grabbed my stuff. I hopped in my car. I left. I was living in my car for maybe about 4 or 5 days. I looked on Craigslist. I looked for a single studio or single apartment. I found a guy who had a move-in special. He didn't have any property available. He gave me another person's number, who then gave me Kenya Kirkland's number.
That's how you met her.
Yes, ma'am.
And moved into the facility. Why don't you tell me
I get a lot of
version?
referrals from the county, which is they have a program called the pilot program, and they pay tenants for housing. That's how he was referred to me.
Let me ask you something. Were you in a program that helped you find housing or helped pay for your housing?
Not initially. When I moved into her house, I paid her out of my pocket, and she made the statement. I have the card.
But this is a sober living facility?
I had no idea that this was a sober living facility.
But you didn't sign a lease before you moved in?
I did, which I never got a copy of, and I didn't read the lease before I signed it.
You didn't read it?
No, ma'am.
Why?
I was under the person, the manager that gave me the lease told me that it was an emergency. I grabbed the lease, and he know I didn't read the lease.
No. I won't accept that, sir. I won't accept that because it's your responsibility before you sign any paperwork, before you hand over any money, to know what you're signing.
Yes, ma'am.
And let me see, do you have a copy of the lease? May I see it, please?
I do. Would you also like the referral that I got from his case manager as well?
You have a case manager?
I am a part of the pilot program.
Well, okay, that's what I was asking you, if you were a part of a program. How are you a part of this program? And you say—
I was on GR. I'm a general recipient of general relief.
Okay. And so how do you not know what this is? It says a Step to Freedom Residential Treatment Facility.
My fault.
That is the title of this document,
Completely
sir.
my fault. Every contract that I've seen since then, believe me.
No,
I'll be
Mr.
reading it.
Shandell, I don't believe you when you say you didn't read this and you didn't know what it was. I don't believe you.
Coming up on Judge Faith, a mother provides insight into her son's situation.
Did you know that he was sleeping in his car?
After your children get to a certain age, they need to not keep coming home.
Plaintiff Carl Shandell says it was unbearable living in Kenya's complex. He's suing for stolen money, medical bills, and property damage. Defendant Kenya Kirkland says she owes nothing because Carl is trying to scam her. She's countersuing for the cost of pest control.
He was looking for an apartment. I said, sir, this is not apartment living. I said, this is a sober living. You will have a room, but this is a sober living program. And he goes on to say—
But how does he qualify for sober living if he's not a recovering addict?
I'm not.
As long as you are not using drugs and alcohol on the premises, or
you can live you can choose to live in a sober living facility.
You can choose to live in there.
Got it.
That
I
is your
understand.
choice. And I explained to him—
How much did he give you when he moved in?
$400, and that's the part I wanted to get to. I said, I'll let you come in for $500 because it's the 8th of the month. When he got there, he told me he had the $500 all the way up until he got there. And then he said, oh, I only have $400. So I said, you know what? I will go ahead and allow you to come in for $400 if you promise to pay the additional $100. He said, before the week is out. At that point, when the week was out and that $100 was due, that's when the drama started.
Would you step over, ma'am? And how are you related to the plaintiff?
My name is Sandra Vanderhorst. I'm Carl's mother.
Okay. Did you know that he was sleeping in his car?
Yes.
Okay, and why wouldn't he be able to live with you if he was homeless at the time?
No.
And he's bounced around to several places.
After your children get to a certain age, they need to not keep coming home. This is what I'm trying to teach him. Mama has a life too. Okay? So for that reason, and I am here because I'm a mom. I step up. I'm right there, right beside him. Every step of the way that he's went through, what he's went through since he's moved into this house. I don't know how anybody stays in this house.
Well, what happened? What did you witness? What did you see?
There was no bed in that room when I looked at it.
Okay, and why do you say he moved the bed out?
There are rules that state, do not move our furniture. Do not bring anything unapproved. He brought his mattress that is dirty and nasty into the house.
I did bring
Into
my
the
mattress
room.
into the house?
Eventually, I did bring my
Not
mattress
eventually,
into the house. Yes, ma'am.
immediately. I definitely did a walkthrough
8 to 10 days.
within 5 days of him being there, and there was a mattress there, and I was livid because I know that I told him do not bring anything in at that point. He even, when he started harassing me about bed bugs, he said, well, the last place I left, they paid me $1,400 to leave. And I said, well, what would you like me to do with that information? He said, that's what you're gonna do. You need to pay me $1,400. I said, that's what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna pay you for something you brought here.
Show me proof of your doctor's visits. The first time you went to the doctor,
And the first
you
time-
have to get medication for bed bug bites.
And the first time I went to the doctor.
And when do you say he first told you about bed bugs?
The additional $100 that he was due to pay, right about when that money was due, is when he started complaining about bed bugs.
You know, Mr. Shandell, you provided me with a report from the doctor.
It defines
Whatever you
cellulitis.
had, you didn't just get it in 2 days, according to this medical report, because I don't know what's going on here, but for you to move into that home and then 2 days later you're diagnosed, it doesn't happen in 48 hours, sir.
You wouldn't think it did.
I want to know about the $1,400. Tell me about that conversation, where that number comes from.
On the 26th, I called her because bed bugs was all in my stuff. Roaches also was all in my stuff. She says $1,400 enough for you to find you somewhere to live. I had explained to Ms. Kenya that,
Never.
which I ended
She
up
offered you
doing.
$1,400?
Yes, ma'am.
Never.
My question to you is, if she offered you $1,400 and the conditions were so bad, why didn't you take the money and leave?
I agreed to it. She never paid me, and later on that night, I got text messages here. I was getting bit up by bed bugs. That's how the 27th came along, and that doctor bill came along. She said she couldn't do nothing to the first.
Okay, you're losing me, and I'm losing patience right now.
Okay.
But my question is
I
simple.
went and
Why
signed the
didn't you take...
affidavit to my caseworker, and that's what ticked her. I'm guessing that's what ticked her off. Everything we had agreed, it was fine.
You said you reported it to the caseworker?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
and
let
then
me
the
see
very
that.
next day I come home, my room was burglarized. We didn't know. I called the police as soon as I got there.
You have a police report?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened? What happened?
The police were present when I removed all of his things, set them aside of his van.
Why did you do that?
Because he was smoking marijuana on the premises.
That's
he
the
had a
third.
female.
And I wasn't smoking no marijuana.
You had the picture of the marijuana on his bed. I smelled marijuana very loudly as I was walking through the house. So at that point, I immediately called 911. I waited at the door, and at that point, I did not let him enter back onto the premises. All his belongings were alongside of his van. I have no use for anything that this man owns.
Okay, I've heard
got video.
enough. I've heard enough.
A mess.
You have bed bugs now in the home, and you're blaming him.
He brought his mattress in with the bed bugs.
You know, and this has been, you say he brought in bed bugs. This is back in August. You haven't had the facility treated?
No, not
really?
yet.
So what proof do
can't-
you have then? What proof do you have that there's an
Because listen,
infestation?
Oh, what proof? I
There's an
saw
infestation.
them. I saw them.
And
I have
but
to
it's
get
been
it-
over a month.
Yeah,
so
but I
people are
can't afford
living
it
there
right
with
at
the
the moment.
infestation of bed bugs.
Right.
People are just living there with it. Okay, that can't happen.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
In this facility, if there's an infestation of bed bugs, those people cannot be there. Those people cannot live in that facility if there's an infestation of bed bugs. So if that is the case, that needs to be taken care of
I agree.
immediately. And the fact that you haven't done that is proof to me that there may not be this infestation that you claim. Your counterclaim is dismissed.
Okay.
Now I'm going to get to your case, Mr. Shandell.
Yes, ma'am.
I have several problems with your case, and it started from the first thing you came into court and told me today, which is you had no idea what kind of facility that you were moving into. You thought you were moving into an apartment, and it's only after you get there you find out that you're in a sober living facility. I know that not to be true. Second of all, on this agreement that you signed, that you acknowledged, there is a clause here on what items would be in your room: the bed, the end table, the wardrobe. And under no conditions can there be alcohol or drug use in the home.
It wasn't.
So I do believe that there was a bed in that room, but I also believe that you probably brought your own things, to try to bring your own mattress as well, as you stated. You're suing for medical expenses that you didn't pay and that you're not obligated to pay. My concern is there's one issue, and that is the issue of causation. I am not convinced that those bed bugs, that the cause of you getting those bed bugs was you moving into that facility on the 8th. You brought in the mattress in violation of the rules because your agreement states that there was a bed in the room, and you signed that agreement. And why should I believe there wasn't one when you signed an agreement stating that there was? I can't help you, sir. Your case is dismissed.
Thank you.